Welcome Kasturians. Continuing with our chapter 4, that is the Central Islamic lands. In this video we will discuss the breakup of caliphate, that is the causes for the breakup of caliphate, and the rise of sultanates, and how the agriculture it was promoted. So let's start. As we have discussed in the last video, that is the Abbasid rule, it influenced Iranian culture so much and it increased, whereas the Arab influence it declined, and the capital was established at Baghdad. The army and bureaucracy they were reorganized on non-tribal basis. Earlier it was on tribal basis, we have seen. Now we will see the causes of the breakup of caliphate, why the caliphate it broke down. So there were a number of causes which were responsible for the decline of the Abbasid state. As the Abbasid rule it established its capital in Baghdad, so it became difficult to control the distant places of the empire from Baghdad as capital. This led to the Abbasid state became weaker. Also, a conflict between the pro-Arab and pro-Iranian sections of the army and the bureaucracy. This also led to the decline of the caliphate. A civil war it broke out between the supporters of Amin and Mamun, who were the sons of Harun al-Rashid, that is the caliph, and this civil war led to creation of a new power block of Turkish slave officers which came to be known as Mamluk, and it was the Mamluk sultans like Ghiyasuddin Balban and Ghiyasuddin who were a prominent figure in Indian history also. This civil war, this decline of the Abbasid influence over the entire empire, as well as this civil war and the conflicts between the pro-Arab and pro-Iranian tribes, it all led to creation of a number of dynasties, and the Abbasid power it was limited to central Iraq and western Iran only. The Buyids, who was a Shine clan from the Caspian region of Iran, they conquered Baghdad, and the Abbasid Caliph was left untouched, and they claimed that Abbasid Caliph as the symbolic head of their Sunni subjects. And this decision of not to abolish the Caliph was a shrewd one, because the Fatimids, who were of Shiite origin, they were also having ambition to rule the Islamic world, because they themselves claimed to be descendants of Fatima, that is the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, and hence they claimed themselves to be the rightful rulers of Islam. And these Fatimids they were based in North Africa, and they conquered Egypt and established a new capital at Kahira, that is the city of Cairo. And they founded this city on the day of the rise of the planet Mars, that is Mirikh, which is also known as Al-Kahir. So that's how this name Kahira was given to the city. At the same time, a new group was added, and along with the Arabs and Iranians, it was the Turks. With the rise of the Turkish sultanates, the Turks they were the nomadic tribes from the Central Asian steppes that is grasslands. These tribes they gradually got converted to Islam, and they were skilled riders and warriors, and they entered the Abbasid, Samanid and Buyid administrations as slaves, and later on because of their loyalty they who were entered or admitted as soldiers, they got high positions on account of their loyalty and military abilities. Then we have the rise of sultanates. The Ghaznavid Sultanate it was established by Al-Taghin in 961, which was consolidated further by Mahmud of Ghazni. The Ghaznavids, they were a military dynasty and they were having a professional army including the Turks and the Indians. In fact, Mahmud of Ghazni, he was having an Indian commander whose name was Tilak. Mahmud was eager to receive the title of Sultan from the Caliph because Mahmud he knew that he was having a slave origin. So in order to overcome that, he remained loyal to the Sultan. That's why he wanted that the Sultan should award him by the title. And because of the increasing influence of the Shiite power, the Caliph was also willing to support the Sunni Ghaznavids because the Ghaznavids, they were actually Sunni Muslims. So the Seljuk Turks, they entered the Turan as soldiers and later on they established themselves as a powerful group under the leadership of Tughril Beg and Chagri Beg, and these were actually Shiites. So after the death of Mahmud of Ghaznavi, they conquered Khurasan and made Nishapur their capital. It is Nishapur which is more famous for the birthplace of Umar Khayyam. Then they moved to western Persia and Iraq and they restored Baghdad to Sunni rulers, and this all took place in 1055. The Caliph Al-Qasim, he conferred on Tughril Beg and he gave the title of Sultan to him, and the two Seljuk brothers, they ruled together under the leadership of Caliph as their Islamic head. Then we have, when the Sultanates they came to power, the Sultanate period was there, the Crusades. These are the wars which were fought by the Christians against Muslims to free the Holy Land of Palestine. So these Crusade wars, they took place. Actually, these Crusade wars, how they started, when Malik Shah he died, the Seljuk Sultan of Baghdad, his empire started disintegrating because the nobles, they got a chance and an opportunity to free themselves and to declare themselves as independent rulers. So this disintegration of the Baghdad, it gave a chance to Byzantine Empire, and the Byzantine Emperor Alexius, he started making plans to regain Asia Minor and northern Syria. At the same time, Pope Urban II, he also joined hands with Byzantine Emperor, that is Alexius, for a war in the name of God to liberate the Holy Land of Palestine. As a result, several wars they were fought between Western Christians and Muslim cities on the coastal plains of Eastern Mediterranean, and these wars were later known as the Crusades. So in the First Crusade War, the French and Italian soldiers, they captured Antioch in Syria and they claimed Jerusalem. This victory was accompanied by the slaughter of Muslims and Jews in the city. The Franks, they quickly established 4 Crusader states in the region of Syria, Palestine, and these territories they were known as Outrancer, that is Crusader states. When the Turks they captured Edessa in 1144, an appeal was made by the Pope for a second crusade, and again the German and French combined army, it made attempts to capture Damascus, but they were defeated, and after this there was a gradual erosion of strength of Crusader states. Salah al-Din, so it was Saladin who created an Egypto-Syrian empire, that is an empire that stretched from Egypt to Syria, and he gave call for jihad, that is the holy war, to fight against the Christians, and they defeated the Christians in 1187, and again Jerusalem was regained, and nearly a century, it was for a century under the rule of their Christian counterparts, but after 1 century they again became victorious and conquered Jerusalem. The loss of Jerusalem, it prompted a third crusade in 1189, but the Crusaders, they gained little victory in Palestine, and they got free access to Jerusalem for Christian pilgrims as a result of this. And the Mamluks, the rulers of Egypt, they finally expelled the crusading Christians from all of Palestine in 1291. Now, what were the consequences of these crusades? The crusades, they left Muslim bitter, and this in turn made the Muslim state hostile towards the Christian subjects, which were present as mixed populations in the entire empire. Also, the influence of Italian mercantile communities that was increasing in the trade between East and the West, it was restored, and it was even carried on even after the restoration of Muslim power. Now we will see the economy. Agriculture was the main occupation of the newly acquired territories. The major population, it was engaged in agriculture, and the agricultural land was under the complete control of the state. Since the land was majorly used for cultivation, so the land revenue was the main source of income for the entire empire. And in the lands which were conquered by the Arabs, that were in the hands of the owners, they were subject to the tax, that is kharaj, that varied from half to fifth of produce according to the fertility of the land. The Muslims, they have to pay 1/10 of the produce as tax, and that was known as ushr. And the Austins, they had to pay less tax. The non-Muslims, they started converting to Islam or adopting Islam in order to pay less tax. This resulted in shortfall, and in order to overcome such a situation, a uniform taxation policy was applied. When we see the measures which were adopted by the state for improving agricultural production, the state supported irrigation systems like construction of dams, canals and wells to improve irrigation. Secondly, Islamic law, it permitted tax concessions to people who brought land under cultivation. Also, in the absence of major technological changes, the cultivable land, it expanded and productivity rose because of the peasant initiative and state patronage or state support given to them. Crops like cotton, oranges, bananas, spinach and brinjals, they were grown and exported to Europe. So this is all we have in this video. In the next video we will do the concluding part of the chapter. Thank you and have a nice day.